Thank you so much to our dear sister for leading us through this discussion, these presentations that have been done by our three colleagues. We will also have the leader of the Nigerian women speaking shortly, and the other comrades making a contribution to this discussion. The question that comrades, and welcome comrades that came now, we have already spoken about what we are trying to do in respect to the disaster that we have in Malawi, Mozambique, Madagascar. We'll discuss it later on. The questions have been raised to say, what is the objective of this dialogue? And I want us to try and zero in into this so that when we emerge from this dialogue, this roundtable discussion, we say, yes, indeed, there is progress that is being made. The first issue which the African Diaspora Forum seeks to do through this roundtable discussion is to develop areas of solidarity with the working people and peasants in Nigeria. We think this can be done in the form of marches to the Nigerian embassy and consulate. We will need the Nigerians to lead us. So the African Diaspora Forum wants to participate in developing areas of solidarity, because the reason why we wanted you to speak, or comrades from Nigeria to speak, is to say, when we are then mobilizing and identifying areas of solidarity, at least we are informed. The second point that we seek to do as the African Diaspora Forum is to mobilize the progressive world in raising the issues around the conduct of elections, as the outcome does not contribute in resolving the economic, political, and social crisis that Nigeria is faced with. So it is important that when we engage and mobilize, at least we are informed. I remember in 2018, when there was an electoral dispute in Zimbabwe, the buzzword was produce V11 forms. In other words, produce evidence. If indeed the elections were rigged in Nigeria, there must be evidence that when we engage in mobilizing the progressive world, we place that evidence in front of them. But the other issue that we must discuss, comrades, is this class nature of the Nigerian state. You have massive poverty, but we should not also ignore that Nigeria is one country with a high concentration of US dollar billionaires. We have the rich, filthy rich that reside in Nigeria. At the same time, we have the poor people. So what's the class nature of the Nigerian state? And I'm sure that the Labour Party, which I know works with unions in Nigeria, will assist in unpacking this question for us. The fourth issue is the security issue in Nigeria. We have participated as the African Diaspora Forum in the campaigns, working with other progressive forces to say, bring back our girls, when young girls were kidnapped in Nigeria. So will this new government post this election, does it have a plan to deal with the security issues so that our children in Nigeria, particularly girls, are safe in communities? They are able to go to boarding schools without any fear of armed men coming to kidnap them. Point number 5, we note as the African Diaspora Forum the failure to build an inclusive society in Nigeria, which has given rise to a separate, calls for a separate state like Biafra. We see in the rest of the continent is what is called emerging states. That is a result of the failure to build an inclusive society. And this failure happened at post-liberation when we attained our independence. And this also is linked to regionalism or regional divisions, which the comrade here spoke about, that oil comes from the east, southeast of Nigeria, undeveloped, but the other regions are developed. And it will be interesting if with someone also from the northern region to understand their views, how they are going to engage on this question. And this then, like the rest of Africa, is linked to the question of ethnicity, where politics is mobilized along ethnicity. That's actually point number 6. That to what extent has the question of ethnicity contributed in this election, which in the main is used to weaken African people, to mobilize, unite, and ensure that the economy is placed in the hands of society as a whole. With any worry that I am of this tribe, my brother or sister is of this tribe, this then weakens. The last point, of course, which we are raising, which we might not be able to answer it now, but is an ongoing discussion, as part of our ongoing discussion that we should deal with. And the question is, can bourgeoisie electoral democracy contribute in transforming our society? This struggle for national liberation, as some would want to us to believe, was not about one man, one vote, but it was about transformation of our society, return of our dignity as African people, return back of our land, and we all participate in bourgeoisie democracy. The outcome is that in every election, be it in Nigeria, in Zimbabwe, in Cameroon, in Mali, everywhere, there are complaints of an election being rigged. So we need to engage on this question. So we invite you, as we participate in this roundtable discussion, to hear your views on some of these questions, so that we are informed. We also invite those that are following us on our Facebook page and the other media platforms to please write your comments, which will contribute in enriching this discussion that we're having. I'm told we'll start as part of our contribution with the chairperson of the Nigerian women, and then all of us, let's participate. We have an hour to have this dialogue to raise our issues. Thank you so much.